Just made it back after that trip. It wasn't terrible. Nothing happened bad. But here's the bike. It's a Hyosung, yeah. GT650R Comet. These things aren't really that expensive, and they're pretty much not really looked after for. I mean, they are pretty fast, and they do sound really good. It's just that not a lot of people want them because they're just build quality. They're built pretty poorly. Also, I'm pretty sure it's a Korean motorcycle. The parts are pretty hard to find for, and they're not exotic. They're cheap parts, and they break down a lot. That's why I think that's why we even have this thing. We also got a Honda Shadow, and this one too, which I think is a Honda Shadow as well. I'm not 100% sure. I think it is. Yeah, it is. That's, I think an 1100. What are you doing? Look at the kickstand. Apparently this is how you adjust the kickstand. It's stock to it. It's got a clutch but no brake pedal. The brakes are locked up too. To get it even on the trailer, we had to, like, usually it would move just a bit because they aren't locked up. Or they all locked up. This Shadow's actually pretty nice. It's pretty big. One cool thing about this one is it's a 650, the same as the little Suzuki I got. It's a V2. They make about 80 horsepower. I think the top speed is like 140. I'm not 100% sure. On the speedo, it won't show you how fast it could go, or the possibilities like on these things. I mean, they won't really go that fast. They're like 30 miles slower, but you get the general idea. It's got this grip on the thing from, what was it, Moto Graphics. This is being together, but look how the condition. It just needs to be painted over. There's no dents, there's no rust. It's just clean. There's no bumps like we mostly had. Nothing's dented. All it's missing is a brake thing that was snapped off, a muffler, which it already has like a bottom piece, but if you want the outer piece, that's legit about it. That's about it. This is totally mine, so no one's gonna work on it. The Triumph working on it was a failure, so I had to sell the 650, which is over there because it rained really bad. This one has tags from Florida. The last time the tags were about, 2018, when they expired. I had no idea why I was in this guy's junkyard. As far as I'm concerned, it isn't blown. I heard something about being blown, but it was about a whole nother motorcycle. It has no keys to it. As far as I'm sure of, they haven't been kept up with. You could break that easily. The ignition, I'm pretty sure just needs to be cut off. We could hot wire it. Look at, here it is again. This pass button right here, which either tells me it's fuel injected. I hope to God it's not fuel injected. I hate fuel injected things. I've learned that for the Triumph. I guess fuel injection just adds a little more horsepower. It has air ducts. Most of the time the air ducts mean it's probably fuel injected. I don't know, I haven't really researched about that. Throttlage is unstuck. Not like this one where it is stuck. So that's a good sign. I mean, look at how clean these tires are. They're clean, not a lot of tread. The whole body is just like that because of sitting in the rain and the pollen. But cleaned off, this thing will look so nice. Probably get a little pressure wash over the gas tank and wash on this. What are these? What the heck? I have no freaking clue. It's got electronic dash too. Pretty sure this is like a 2007, 2008 maybe. It's a pretty nice little bike. It's just they're cheaper built. They're cheaper cash. And they're really just for riding. They're fun little bikes, but they're just cheap and built poorly. I think usually most of them last about 16,000 miles or something like that. Pretty dang low. The bike does actually look pretty good, but it's like a bootleg. Just looks like it's cheap and copied. But if you want a cheap bike, this is the way to go. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing off the trailer and go ahead and take apart this part to get under the seat and get to the battery and things. Alright, so we just got off the trailer and all that stuff. We just now... Alright, so Hyosung did something very stupid and they just made it super simple. There's just a red and an orange wire. Once you tie those together, the ignition turns on. Right now this battery's dead, so the ignition's not turning on, but it basically turns on all green. And it looks pretty cool. Right now, we did try to start it. It started a little bit, but the battery died straight out. We're going to go ahead and get the battery out and put a new battery in. Just see what it does. Also, one smart thing they did is that instead of like making it where it's short and it only goes with one side, they made them super long, so when you take it off this one, you got a battery that has it like over here, then it just basically easily rearranges over there, and so does this too. It just goes over there, so I guess hikes up to the Koreans. Alright, so okay, my neighbors need a new cat. That cat just comes out. We just got a battery in here. That's the gauge. Let's show it closer. You can see it. 5,283 miles. But it's so simple that it's just a red and orange wire. So when you get a new ignition, those are the only two things you have to tie together. And that was really stupid, Hyosung. They're so easy to hotwire. Now, our issue is that nothing's blown. If I go ahead and try to start it, it may start. I don't want to do that. Apparently, it's like, what is it called? Venture what? I forgot what it's called. But it's just with the cylinders or the spark plugs. Now, with Hyosung, which aren't really good motorcycles, people just don't like them. The 650R, what it's different is it has fenders, and which are over there. The Hyosung GT650 doesn't have any fenders at all. The 250, just smaller motor and all. 150, just again, a smallish motor. The Aquila, it's just like a that kind of motorcycle. And basically, yeah. So this back seat right here has a bunch of interesting crap in there. And I pulled out like a not so stock racing decal or something. I don't know where it is. To be honest, I want to find it really bad. Right here. Why go stock racing? It came off of like Amazon. Now what it looks like is it's a decal, not a sticker. I really kind of like this bike. A cool little looking sports bike with the electronic gauge and everything, and really that's not such an ugly design. The air ducts look pretty cool, and this thing is carbureted. I forgot to tell you guys that. And I don't know how easy it will be to get to the system right there. The brakes aren't as locked up as they were anymore, and I'm pretty sure my whole goal is just to get this back seat part, because I really want to see what's in there. It kind of moves, but you have to get in there and undo 2 bolts to get it open. It's also got this like aftermarket thing, grip right here, so don't scratch up the gas tank. All it needs is a good wash and a little detail, and this thing could probably sell for like 800 maybe, since it has no title and pretty low miles. And that was the only issue, and I think the reason why it got sat in that field was just a high-speed chase, or a little, maybe they wouldn't change, I don't know, maybe it ran out of gas and then the guy never picked it up, because it was low on gas when we got it, and usually they at least have some gas, and it isn't drained, it's just got a little bit in there, so it's a high chance it ran out of gas. We did put some more oil in it too. And yeah, so it needs an exhaust too, and a brake, and the brakes to be unlocked. The lights work, the blinkers should work. Need some mirrors too, but you don't really have to worry about that stuff. It's got this pass button, which the Triumph, which is down there, has. But look at this, just this sports bike right here. Just like a 90s Kawasaki GT650R. There's no pass button right here. There's no pass button right here. So the Triumph has it, and it's like a 2001, but we had like a 99 R1 with electronic gauge, and it didn't have a pass button. Anyway, it's got the choke up here too, which I forgot to tell you. Pretty neat, but it does look bad. This is a Comet version 2. So there's brake fluid. You can select and reset or whatever, and I think it can show you codes too. So I'm gonna try out that too. Anyway, this is it for this little update. Now we're gonna try to get it running again. Alright, so we just got a new charger for it. Charge it. And basically what we did was we took out the cylinders that were in it. If I have one right here, I'm pretty sure. Are these the good ones? These are the good ones that I think I'm going to use. But the bad ones are, I think they're right here. They're so black on the top because they're running rich. And so whenever we tried to, so then after taking the spark plugs out, we just tried to start it to hear the starter run, and it just puffed out this bad gas because it was running too much. And we did get some new spark plugs, which are the ones down there. And also I'm gonna try to get this back sheet. I swear you can kind of see something in there, and there was that not so stock racing sticker or whatever. Anyway, we just tried to start it. I didn't show you the video of it starting, but still, we're charging it and it works. Wait, what? Hold on. The blinker motor's on. You can hear it, but you don't see the light. And the blinkers are on. Do they work? But they don't work. I think it's because you have to turn on the back light. Oh yeah, they work. They work up front, but they don't do up back. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put these new spark plugs in. Alright, so we've just got the spark plugs in. I didn't record it because it was a hassle. I kind of cussed a bit. But we have put a custom flip switch, which right now isn't working because the battery's dead. The starter relay was buzzing, but we put an old one in, and now it's working. The back seat had the registration when this thing was bought, but still no title. And two little, like, what are they called? Like working things. Or what they're called, little tool bags or whatever for emergencies. A Jeep one with like only a 10mm as a socket. Pretty crazy. And this thing did work. I mean, we just drilled a hole and I put it up there. And this is a 2008, as it said on the registration. I would have never knew that. I thought it was like a 2006 or 7, because the 2008 just looked more advanced. So what we did do is the start button doesn't there, but we like basically did that with the starter with a wrench. I forget what it's called, but we did that, and it ran a bit when we sprayed ether in there. But if we put that gas tank on there, it'll run fine. And here's what's wrong with the gas tank. Let me go find it. Got it in the back of the truck here. So we looked in the gas tank and it was terribly rusty. But we had to pour acid in there, and you can see where the acid burnt the wood right there. Jesus Christ. And we got some more of that, and we went to the car wash, and it still didn't clean it out. Just rust was just falling out. So we're going to put more acid in there and like basically put a water hose through it and just let it flow through and get more rust out. But it was the worst gas tank I think we've seen. I'll go show you what the fuel thing looked like. Here's the fuel thing right here. You see how bad and rust, that's your fuel meter to tell you how much fuel you have in the tank. And I'm going to show you the acid we're using. Yeah, and you hear me too, right? This is muriatic acid. That like literally touching it just burns through stuff. It burns through rust, but with a touch on the hand, it will legit burn your skin. So we got it running with the ether. It was running pretty good. Loud. It was so loud. I mean, it echoed through all the woods, and you can hear it all the way at the store up there. It was crazy loud. I mean, complaints left and right. The box had oil in it, so the carburetor is basically clean. These things are not locked up. And as you can see, the oil works and all that. So once we clean that fuel tank, get it on there and clean this thing up, easy $800 because it has no title, but it's only got 5,000 miles to it. I mean, that's really crazy. It's a Hyosung and all. Most people say they're crap, but I'm actually kind of starting to like this thing. If I was... We just heard a kitten. Didn't know we had another kitten around. That's just crazy. We found another kitten. Enough about cats. I didn't find another sticker decal. There was no cloth thing, whatever I was talking about. But this ignition thing is legit just orange-red. And so if you lose the key to one of these things, don't be scared because that's all you got to do. So it's not hard to hotwire a switch. That switch took like, 10 minutes to do. And if I would have hurried up too, it would probably take about 5 minutes. And we're going to use this Scorpion exhaust. There it goes, Scorpion. Pretty sick little exhaust. Sounds pretty badass. And I really want to, I'm going to take this fender off. Maybe not the front fenders. Just pressure wash this thing. Probably even just rag it down because I don't want to get anything bad wet because I just want this to be the perfect bike. Well, you know what? It's just been rained on for days, so it probably won't matter. We would have to take the ignition out because, like, it's not like you sit there and start it with it. Once you turn, let's just say we turn the ignition, all the lights come on. All you do is press the start button, and that's it. It actually works really well. It's just a little cheap, $5 thing you could buy from like Lowe's or Tractor Supply. Anyway, now our main goal is to get the thing running. I might not show a video of that, but just the next time you see it, I might tell you it's been running. I might show you us trying to get it running, but don't count hopes on that. And we cannot lose this. This is for the gas tank. Alright, so we just stuck this little gas tank on here. Got it hooked up.
It's gonna take a minute to get gas to the car if you choke it.
Alright. We don't have to press the clutch.
Start fluid. I know you don't like the starter fluid.
No. Where's the, hold on. Where's that? Oh, it's right there. Alright, I'm ready. Get the fire extinguisher. The exhaust just fell off. Turn the choke on. The RPM gauge works. I see it going up. Dang, so.
Let it sit for a minute, let that gas stick up there.
I'm just gonna let it sit. So I finally had the chance to get and to take a video of the motorcycle. We got it pretty good running. It wasn't running on one cylinder, so we fixed it. And it runs good now. That was the issue. I didn't show us doing it because it was like 2 in the morning and I was so tired that I didn't feel like holding the camera, so I just basically, we did wire up the clutch, so I think it's where it's always on. I'm gonna go ahead and post this thing up for sale after I clean it. I did clean the back fender, so look at this. If we can turn on flash, this was the other fender that hasn't been cleaned. All this dirt, this is one that has been cleaned. Yeah, a big difference. And this is this front clean. The seats do need to have wrap over them. To be honest, I might just tape them. It'd be the best thing to do because I don't think we have time to really do that. Gotta get a little drink. We found the registration and some toolkit and the thing, and it had a Jeep one with only a 10mm. Pretty funny. The ignition, which I don't think I talked about, still works. This gas tank was put on here just to see if it worked, but the old gas tank has been, where's that? Major, we lost the gas tank. That's for the R1. Oh, it's over there. I moved over there. It's pretty clean. The acid did a good job. And now I'm going to go ahead and put all the fenders on. Just, basically get this thing all back together. And it still has an issue with the gas tank, but once that's fixed, this thing should run and drive. My father would take it for a drive, and then this thing should be done. But before he does all that, I'm going to put it up for sale and see who wants it. And by a day or two, we'll have this thing all good, and so this thing will be ready to be sold. Just showing you that this bike is done for after that drive, and it's going to get sold. So once I get everything back together and do a final little overview, this thing is going to get sold, and we're going to finally get to see it go. It has been a cool little bike, but pretty pain to work on. It is a Korean bike. We've never worked on a Korean bike, and the parts for it are pretty hard to find. Oh shit. Well, that wasn't supposed to come undone. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this thing running. Or just go ahead and show you the crank up. It doesn't rev up, but once we fix that, it'll be all good. So it turns out the battery's a little bit dead, and I tried to start it and it won't work, so it just needs to be charged up and it should run. I'm gonna just go ahead and put these fenders on and get the gas tank on and put it up for sale, and then do a final overview. And this will be it for this video.